Thank
Thank
you.
you, madam. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen, Dr. Nehekar, and Sahani sir. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1674th day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guest is Dr. Surabhi Soni. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathic lovers, students, and doctors. We have 3 sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi from 7:30 to 8:30. The international session in English begins from 8:30 to 9:30, and from 9:30 to 10:30, we have a local language session in Malayalam. We are uploading the videos of the same on the very next day itself, so that those who miss the session can watch it again, and you can subscribe the same without paying any money. You can share it with your friends, so that the purpose of the forum is to take homeopathy to every house around the world, and we are achieving the same in a short time. We will be able to achieve the same in a short while if all of you share the videos of the sessions every day. And let me come to today's guest. As you all know, today our guest is Dr. Surabhi Soni. She has completed MD in homeopathy and is working as associate professor in surgery, Ahmedabad Homeopathic Medical College, Pearl University, Gujarat. Today, a doctor is discussing about understanding the clinical importance of constitutional medicine in therapeutics in homeopathy. The doctor has presented different sessions in both Hindi as well as English sessions earlier. And so we proudly welcome Dr. Surabhi Soni to the session. Welcome, doctor. Yes.
Thank you, sir, for the introduction. It's my pleasure to again come in this event of a series. Okay, so, sir, shall I proceed?
Yes, yes. You can proceed and share the screen.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yes,
The
yes.
PPT? Okay.
Yes, it is visible. Can make
Okay,
it.
so good evening, one and all. So I am Dr. Surabhi Soni, Associate Professor in Surgery Department. Earlier, also I have presented in this English session as well as in the Hindi session. So it's my pleasure. So as again I got an opportunity to speak up. Okay, so today's my topic is understanding the clinical importance of constitutional versus therapeutic prescription in homeopathy. So first of all, why I have chosen this topic, because what happened many a times, wait. Okay. So many a times happen that during practice, we get confused whenever the patient comes whether to give constitutional remedy or therapeutic, and when to prescribe it, and what is the importance of both remedies and prescription, how its result and all that thing. During the 5.5 year of homeopathy and also during the MD, the thing which is remain untaught is that no one teaches us that how to behave, react with patient when the patient comes to us in the clinic. We have been taught that what is constitutional, what is therapeutic, but no one has taught us that now we have to give therapeutic or we have to give constitutional. What is the success ratio of constitutional, what is the success ratio of therapeutics? So this is my small, you can say, effort where I have compared both the remedy, both the system, both the method of giving medicine, as well as I have also shared some of the statistical result where the success rate of constitutional remedies and success rate of the therapeutic medicine. As I am a teacher of surgery, I have been teaching therapeutics in surgery. So every time I teaches the student that how to take case taking as well as when to give constitutional and therapeutic in surgery. Basically, के surgery में, for example, boil, carbuncle or pepticles or gallstone, renal stone. These are the things. So when patient comes, or should we provide a constitutional or should we give therapeutic? Because sometimes some emergency cases come with a severe acute abdomen. So what to do? If we sit and take the history like constitutional, it will take 1 hour, 2 hours. The patient don't have that much of time, and we cannot also lose our patient. So at that time comes the role of the therapeutic. So yes, starting with the session. So homeopathy offers a unique approach to healing with constitutional medicine and therapeutic as a cornerstone. So we both have constitutional as well as therapeutic. Constitutional medicine focus on the individual's overall health, considering physical, mental, and emotional aspect. Therapeutics, on the other hand, target specific symptom and acute condition. So here comes the major role that in constitution we cover physical, mental, as well as emotional, which is never been, you can say, emphasized during the case taking. So how is the emotional status of the patient? That is also very important, and it plays very major role in the prescription, because every patient react differently. For example, if patient number A has gallstone, patient number B has gallstone, and patient number C has gallstone, three different personality has come to us with the same complaint or same disease, but the reaction, the emotional effect of all the three patient will be different. A patient maybe get very much anxious, so I am having gallstone, now what will happen? B patient may be very much, you can say, indolent, lazy, and he will take random medicine, will not come to the hospital, will not come to clinic, but at a given point of time the pain has increased, so he has been forcibly come to our clinic. And C patient maybe like he maybe get very much panic, so much that it becomes out of control. So these are the emotional status as well as the mental status of the patient, which help us in the prescription in the constitutional medicine. Therapeutic, on the other hand, it targets the specific symptoms and acute condition. For example, if the patient has come with acute abdomen pain since yesterday night or since today morning, so at that time, no need of going into the constitutional whole system. If it is, for example, this symptom has been since today morning only, earlier it was not present, so we can go with the acute remedies, or we can go with the therapeutic remedies. The benefit of the therapeutic remedies is that for each and every diseases we have n number of remedies. For example, if I am dealing with renal stone, and if I'll refer from Kulkarni or Verma or Lilienthal or the therapeutics textbook, so I'll find that in renal stone, I'll find 20 to 30 remedies for only renal stone with the very specific symptoms. So what happen in such cases, we can directly, at least if there are only 5 remedies in my mind, for example, Sarsaparilla, Lycopodium or Barbaris, so I can immediately prescribe any one remedies. It will definitely work, because depending upon some of the symptom, for example, left-sided remedy, right-sided remedy, we can immediately take 2 to 3 symptoms, we can exchange with the patient, ask some of the history, and immediately we can prescribe. It will give definitely good result, because in the organon of medicine it has been given that acute diseases is always sudden, it is always very fast medicine. It will patient either will get cure or the patient can die. It is more severe as compared to chronic, because in chronic it is very progress, gradual onset, slow progressing. So we have time for the treatment. But in acute, it is not like that. The patient comes with a severe abdominal pain since today morning, so we have to immediately deal with that patient. So at that time, active therapeutics are very helpful. Understanding the clinical importance of homeopathic practice, this presentation will delve into the principal differences, clinical application of conventional medicine and therapeutic, highlighting the relevance in holistic healing, and it will also cover the case studies illustrating the application of the each approach. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, audible.
So should I repeat?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So again, I have told that defining therapeutics and homeopathy. So what happened in the acute condition? That therapeutic in homeopathy focus on the acute condition and specific symptoms. It aims to provide the target relief by utilizing the remedies based on the law of similar. So here, if the patient has comes to us with a typical symptom of the throbbing headache, for example, some of the random relative or your friend met you outside and in some function and told you that I am having a throbbing headache since half an hour. Give me some medicine. So at that time, you cannot take the constitutional whole case taking and symptom and what is your past history and what is your family history. No, it is not feasible. And even such patient comes to your OPD or at some emergency and they demand immediate relief and some treatment, and you don't have time to take detailed case taking like you take in the constitutional remedy. So at that time, from the collection of the therapeutic remedies, for example, I've been teaching the surgery therapies from like Kulkarni, Verma, or Lilienthal. If you go in these textbooks, you will find n number of medicine for that particular disease. For example, throbbing headache, if in medicine we will see the throbbing headache, there are different causes like tension headache, cluster headache, migraine. So you will find direct 20 remedies for that. So from that, which is very close coming to the patient's symptoms, we can directly prescribe that remedy. And then what happens sometimes that based on the law of similar, for example, in acute, what happens? Memory. So he remember all the specific symptoms which the patient, for example, if the patient is for example, if the some chronic complaint. So, for example, the patient has the history of acute abdominal pain 5 months back, and the patient has same abdominal complaint now, but the patient will not able to tell you the exact sensation, what were the associated complaints 5 months back. But in acute, what happened? The patient, the pain has started just since today morning or last night or half an hour or 2 hours. So he will be able to tell you the specific symptom, specific sensation. So just we need to catch that symptom, and on the basis of either if we have the time for the totality and repetization, we can do that, or else we can give the therapeutics which is already available. We all know the therapeutics of that specific. For example, if I'll tell you the constipation, tell me the 5 remedy for the constipation. We have immediately, for example, Nux vomica, alumina, sulfur, silicea. If I ask you the diarrhea, so like this way, there are collection of the therapeutics which helps in the prescription. But what is the limitation? That it will only give you the symptomatic and acute relief, but in the chronic complaint, where it will not cure the root cause or predisposition of the patient. So that is the limitation. Now, understanding the homeopathic therapeutics. Homeopathic therapies involve prescribing remedies based on the specific disease condition rather than just overall constitution. It uses materia medica and repertory to match the symptoms with the remedies, and therapeutic is essential in case where full constitutional treatment may take longer to act. So in that condition, we can give, for example, I have given a constitutional remedy, and that constitutional remedy is taking very much time, longer time to treat or to give relief. So side by side, I can also give some of the therapeutics. As I told you in the gallstone, for example, according to the personality of the patient, I have given the pulsatile as a constitutional remedy to X person. Now, it was a perfectly chosen remedy, but still after 1 month, there is no like, I cannot find a specific result. And the patient is anxious and patient want relief. And side by side, for example, I have given cardius or I have given chelidonium. So that is a specific therapeutics. I didn't went to the acute totality, but I know it is a good therapeutic indicative for gallstone or for jaundice. So I can directly prescribe it. Importance of therapies in homeopathy is that it will provide, number one, symptomatic relief in the acute condition. Because acute condition, the patient will come very rush and the patient will be very anxious and he or she will might be requiring immediate relief. So we will be successful in giving it. Therapeutic prescription help in selecting specific remedy based on acute symptom. Example, aconite for sudden fever, belladonna for inflammation. So in that way, we can go for the acute or therapeutic medicine. It acts as an entry point. It acts as an entry point for the constitutional treatment. As I told you that, for example, a gallstone patient. So many patients seek treatment when they have specific complaint rather than for long-term constitutional healing, and therapeutic can provide initial relief leading to deeper constitutional treatment. So in the beginning also I can give chelidonium or cardius, and then when the symptoms subside or the patient feel better, and then I can go for and call again the patient that I'll take the history, because gallstone is not an acute disease. It is a chronic disease, but the symptom may appear suddenly and it looks like acute complaint. But at the back of that, the slow pathology might be going in the patient's body, and the symptom has appeared since 2 days or 1 day, and so the patient has rushed to the hospital or our clinic. So in the starting may I can give the chalidonium or mother tincture of cardias for the better relief, and once the patient feel better, the symptoms subside, palliates or get relief. After that, I'll call the patient and then I'll take detailed history for the constitutional medicine. So like this way, it also act as an entry point for the longer and deeper constitutional treatment. Obviously, same, it will help in the chronic disease management. For example, in case of the arthritis, skin disorder, allergies, therapeutic remedy are often used as alongside constitutional medicine to manage the periodic flare-up. For example, if the patient of arthritis has come to me and I have given the constitutional remedy, after 1 month, 2 months, again some of the complaints started. For example, related to arthritis, or some of the side effect of the arthritis, for example, may some of the chest pain or some joint pain. So I can give the specific, for example, I'll give bryonia for that stiffness. Though it is not an, you can say, I have not taken acute totality or anything, but it is a good therapeutic for arthritis or for that stiffness. So it will work better. Yes, so it will also help us in the emergency and first aid situation. As in homeopathy, there are some limitation and scope. The limitation is that we are not very well developed in emergencies treatment. We have to rush to the casualty or hospital for the treatment of the emergency diseases or any immediate severe acute disease. But in such condition, at least we can give some homeopathic medicine from the therapeutics which will palliate patient's complaint. Okay, so now the next slide is the constitutional medicine. So what is the constitutional medicine? So holistic approach, number one. It will focus on the individual as a whole, considering their unique physical, mental, emotional makeup. It aims to understand the patient's overall constitution. So now, very opposite thing, where we have seen therapeutics, where we have not even, like for example, we have only referred the repertory or materia medica, or we can directly prescribe. On the other hand, also in the therapeutic, it was not necessary that you need to see the emotional mental status of the patient, but here in the constitutional, it is very important to deal with the patient at the holistic approach. For example, mental emotional makeup, as in the very beginning, the first slide, I told you the emotional makeup. For example, if A, B, and C patient, the three patient having the same kind of disease, but the emotional reaction or the behavior or how to deal with that disease, that all three patients will be differently. So that makes the uniqueness of that personality, and on which basis we can select the constitutional medicine. Second, it will individualize the patient or individualize remedy. The goal prescribed to is to prescribe single well-indicated remedy that resonate with the entire individual. This remedy is selected based on its ability to match the patient unique symptom picture. Again, for example, I'll give you an example of very common. If I'll give an example of a cricket. If I'll ask, if I am a person who have never seen cricket and I want to recognize that who is the cricketer, Virat Kohli, Hardik Pandya, Sachin Tendulkar. So the very first thing we'll notice is that if I am very much unaware of the cricket and I don't know okay, who is the best person, who is the bowler. So how we will describe that three personalities? So we'll obviously describe it by looks. That Virat Kohli is bit small or short stature, Hardik Pandya is tall, or you can say Sachin Tendulkar is short stature, the hair, the look, the specs, without specs, some of the behavior, some of the accent style. So this is the constitutional physical makeup which make the person individualize the patient. So that is the physical makeup. And the second thing comes the temperament, or you can say behavior. So there are different temperaments given. The temperament is basically nothing but it is the behavior nature of the patient. My nature is, if for example I am calm, I am peaceful, so that is my personality. For example, the person will be very irritable, become very anxious, become very restless, so that will add on in the constitutional remedy. And so that is why that patient may be suffering from more other diseases, and I am not suffering because I am able to handle my mental, physical and emotional status. Third, long-term health. Constitutional prescribing emphasizes long-term health improvement and addressing the chronic condition, and it seeks to rebuild the foundation of health rather than merely suppressing the symptoms. We don't believe in the suppressing the symptoms, because in many allopathic medicine, I'm not comparing homeopathic and allopathy or Ayurvedic. Each science is unique in its own way, and they have done some good or some bad in their own way, because we are also not a complete pathy. Some or other day, if there is some emergency, we need rush to the allopathic medicine. Or in allopathic medicine, there are very lacking thing nowadays. If we read newspaper, we read some of the statistical analysis, we search on Google, there are many medicines which are banned and cannot be used. In the emergency acute, no doubt, allopathy is the best side. But regularly on any rheumatic complaint, orthopedic complaint, skin complaint, there are homeopathic medicine which is very helpful. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and many side effects. So like in that way, every science has their own thing, but we don't believe in the suppression. So in homeopathy, we deal with the constitutional medicine, which will cover from head to toe each things. Before going to the difference between, I'll just tell some of the constitutional concepts. So constitutional remedies. So Hahnemannian concept is that in organon of medicine emphasize the importance of considering the patient's totality, including physical, mental, emotional, that we have already discussed. Also, he has described the vital force theory for the constitutional medicine, that is the concept of vital force which maintains the harmony in the body. Obviously, we all have read that in the first year BHMS in the organon, that what is the harmony, vital force, vital theory and all that. So I'll not go in that detail, but it is that balancing the harmony between physical, mental and spiritual status. And imbalance is this force leads to disease, and the constitution medicine aims to restore this balance. And whenever there is disturbed in the harmony or disturbed in the vital force or dynamic power, so the disease occurs. The next comes the theory of miasm. The chronic diseases are often rooted in psoriasis, syphilis, or psychosis, making constitutional treatment essential for long-term cure. So we also know the miasm theory, psoriasis, syphilis, psychosis, which plays very important role. In my lectures, I every time share some of the miasmatic importance or how the three patients, psoriasis, syphilis, and psychosis, patient will act. I always give an example where in a given situation, how psoriasis patient will react, how psychotic patient will react, and how syphilitic patient will react. And how they react mentally will obviously reflect on their physical body. The same will happens in the physical complaint. The next is the Keynes philosophy. So Master Keynes has told that constitutional remedy are the ideal cure. He highlighted that constitutional remedy is based on the individual's personality, mental traits, and physical general. We all know that Keynes has, in its method of case taking, he has given importance on the mental general, physical generals, and physical characteristic. That is my personal favorite. You can say I always go to the KENS approach whenever I do repetization, analysis, evaluation. So because it covers mainly mental, physical characteristic with which the patient has come to us, and obviously the generals, which makes the patient unique or individualize the patient. Next, hierarchy of the symptom came to emphasize the importance of mental, emotional symptoms over physical one when selecting a constitutional remedy. So this place, see, you can see the uh, knowledge of Kent way back, hundreds of years back. Nowadays, there is awareness of the mental health, how mental health is important, how the anxiety, depression, we can see the cases, how mental, like psychosomatic, how mental complaint affect the physical body. So he has described this importance way back earlier than in today's era. So he has given the importance of the mental and emotional at the higher rank, and then the physical. So see, this also depend upon our method of case taking. There is no specific that you need to follow Boger's, Hanneman's, Kane, Tians, or now you can say Praful Vijayakar method, Shankar method. No, it depend upon us that how we are taking case, what we are finding. For example, many a times I have faced complaint whenever I take the patient history, the patient is so much rigid, so much you can say introvert, that he will not share his mental. How I will not able to define that how is the patient, how is the behavior of the patient. So at that time, obviously, if I have general symptom, I have physical symptoms, or so I'll go in that approach. So it depends upon doctor to doctor how they deal with the patient and how the symptoms we have received. The next is the temperament, which I told you earlier, that temperaments based remedy, that is sanguine, choleric, phlegmatic, melancholic. So all these are the different temperaments. For example, if sanguine temperament, the patient may be very cheerful and optimistic. So in homeopathy, you can say it is a sanguine temperament. Choleric temperament, the patient may be very aggressive and energetic. So you can term it as it is a choleric temperament. Phlegmatic temperament, the patient may be calm, slow moving. So phlegmatic, melancholic, reserved, introvert, introspective. So there are different, you can say temperament behavior, on which basis also you can prescribe the medicine. Even the Boric, in the Boric Materia Medica, we can see the William Boric has described the constitutional profile of the remedies in his pocket manual of Materia Medica. For example, hot-blooded, untidy, intellectual, but very lazy. Lycopodiums are very weak in digestion, irritable, manipulative. So these are the different, you can say a group has formed, or you can say it is kind of a drug picture personality, which we can identify. In my classroom, I always say that you speak in the homeopathic language. For example, if I want to tell a student, you are very dull, you are not so, you can say you are not paying attention, you are not good in study. So I'll not tell him a word which will hurt him. For example, you are very stupid, you are very idiot. No, I'll not tell them. I'll directly tell him, okay, you are baraita. So those who know, who knows. So in that way, I have told student to remember the remedies, the constitution, so that you can say they will remember the constitution, which will obviously help them in the prescription. So what are the steps in the constitutional prescribing? So case taking, which is very important, understanding the miasmatic background, selecting the remedy, and then advantage of constitutional remedies that treat the root cause, trials the root cause of the disease, strengthen the immunity and vitality, which is very important. Our homeopathic medicine not only just cure the disease, but it also strengthen the immunity and vitality, offer long-term and improvement in the chronic cases, and improves overall mental, emotional, and physical health. So this was a short explanation of the constitutional medicine. So here I have tried to have an overview of comparative overview of therapeutic and constitutional medicine. So therapies are acute symptom focused treatment multiple remedies are possible, offering short-term relief. It's like putting out individual fires, and constitutional or chronic holistic, a single remedy is ideal, aiming for long-term healing, and it's like rebuilding the foundation of house. It's like it's an example. So therapeutic is acute, but personally I feel that it is not just that therapy will give only acute relief or symptomatic temporary relief, but sometimes in our career or in our clinical practice there comes a time where there is no need of constitutional, and just the patient is demanding or the circumstances is demanding, but there is a situation that we need or we have to give the therapeutics for our clinical practice, for the sake of the patient, for the sake of the, you can say, disease or the thing with which the patient has come. So data from observational studies indicate the constitutional treatment can lead to 40% sustained improvement in chronic condition compared to purely therapeutic approach. This highlights the importance of considering individuals' overall constitution for optimal healing. So yes, no doubt, from data or observational study, it has found that comparatively constitutional remedy is more successful and it will give more good result and relief as compared to the acute disease, therapeutics. So case study therapeutic approach. For example, patient with recurrent allergic rhinitis is treated with Allium cepa. For acute symptoms like sneezing and watering eyes, symptomatic relief is achieved, but underlying allergic tendency remains unaddressed and the remedy targets the immediate discomfort. Upon subsequent allergen exposure, symptoms reoccur, highlighting the limitation of purely therapeutic intervention. So here going into this example, I'll also share one more example of a case. It was my own case where I had a typical corn in the foot. So back, I think 5 years back, and it become very painful, and it remained. I was unaware of it, and suddenly the pain started, and I went to a surgeon, and the surgeon told that we need to remove it immediately. So he told me it is a small minor surgery where we need to just pluck out that corn with knife. And so he have given the local anesthesia and he removed that corn. But it lead to very, you can say, small complication where I had severe bleeding, and then the pus formed and I was not able to walk, and it take long time for the healing, as we all know that the foot or leg has a less blood supply than face or upper body. So where there is a less blood supply, so it will take more time for the healing. So after 3-4 years, I had same complaint, corn in the foot, but it was now another leg. So at that time, I thought that now I don't want to approach being an homeopath. I'll obviously try homeopathic treatment, and then I have used the Silicia biochemic form 3x, and I have make a powder of it, and then adding some water for making it paste, and then I have applied at that particular part. And after that, what happened, in the few, I think, hours only, that whole part removed. So it acts wonder. So you can imagine where I have went for the knife or for the IND, and here I have only a powder. And Silicia has a typical property of removing foreign body, which I have read in the textbook, and I applied. And when I have seen the result, and it was unbelievable that without any, you can say, no need for the removal, no need for the anesthesia, local application, no painkillers, nothing, and the whole corn removed, and the normal skin started to come, and within, I think, 4-5 days, it was properly healed. So that was the, you can say, therapeutic role where I have directly, no, I have not taken any totality, but I know the Silicia has this particular tendency. So I have applied in that way. So here you can see the allergic rhinitis is treated with Allium cepa. because we know in the LMCPA there is typical sneezing, watery eyes symptoms. So here it will give you symptomatic temporary relief. But here what is happening, that allergic rhinitis is a recurrent, it is an allergy. An allergy, once an allergy in the body is a permanent allergy. It will not be removed. Or you can say, I'm not saying that it cannot be ever cured, but if there is some exciting cause, some trigger, it will come back. So we need to have an auxiliary measure of treatment, as well as you can go with a constitutional remedy where you need to remove that tendency. That will only be gone by a constitutional medicine and not by only a therapeutic medicine. So here comes the role of the, you can say, constitutional remedy, where the allergic rhinitis, why the X person is only having allergic rhinitis and not the other 2% which are just sitting next to him with the same atmosphere, they are not having this complaint and only this person is having. So there is something in the constitution which is bothering that patient. So we need to find out that, understand his body, understand his miasm, temperament, and we need to treat accordingly. So here comes the role of the constitution medicine. So according to study in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine, 60% of the patient using a purely therapeutic approach report recurrence of the similar or related issue within 12 months. So so it has been seen that if you will give purely therapeutic medicine, so it will definitely within 1 year it will come back. Maybe it can give a acute temporary relief, but if it is like a recurrency, there is tendency, there is some constitutional tendency, so definitely it will come back. So we need to address that thing. So that is the both, you can say, constitutional versus therapeutic, pros and cons. So case study, constitutional, the patient with recurrent allergic rhinitis undergo full constitutional workup considering overall health, personality, family history. Pulsatilla is prescribed based on the patient constitutional picture like mild, yielding, desire, consolation, and addressing the entire individual. So the patient experience a marked reduction in the frequency and severity of the allergic episodes over time and improved overall well-being. So in the previous slide, I have told that we have given LMCPA as an therapeutic, or you can say acute. So how it has it has given some of the, you can say, symptomatic relief, but again after 2 or 3 months, or again after some exciting cause, it will come back. But understanding the constitution of the patient, that why it is happening again and again. So we have given Pulsatilla on his tendency, on his nature, and addressing the entire individual, understanding the entire individual as a whole. We have given Pulsatilla and it has act wonder. The patient experience a marked reduction in the frequency, severity of the allergic episodes over time, improved overall well-being. So study indicate that 75% of the patient experience sustained relief from symptoms using the constitutional approach, demonstrating the effectiveness of addressing the root cause. With homeopathy, addressing the root cause delivers the best sustained outcomes. So here we have rule out that what is the cause, that why this patient is having repeated allergic rhinitis complaint. Either there is some of the exciting cause, some of the aggravating cause, or the patient's past history, for example, or a miasmatic history, or a family history is like that. So we need to explore that and we need to work upon that, and then we can prescribe a constitutional remedy which will act wonder. The importance of miasmatic understanding in the prescription. So we all know miasm, predisposition, inherited, and constitution. So Hahnemann theory of miasm, psora, psychosis, syphilis, and tubercular introduce the idea of inherited predisposition to chronic disease. Constitutional prescribing aims to address the dominant miasmatic influence in the patient. Sulfur is often indicated for psoric constitution, while medorinum is used for the psychotic ones, and a deep understanding of miasm is a key successfully diagnosis the treating many conditions. So here I'll share one example that I had a patient when I was in PG. I have done from Dhavle, ML Dhavle, from the ICR method. So I have seen that one patient, there was a 10-year-old girl who has some of the allergic skin complaint like dermatitis repeatedly she was having, and it was very severe. That child was very intelligent, I think in some fifth or sixth standard, but again and again she was having that skin complaint. So she used to take cetirizine every time because it would hamper her studies, exams. So to suppress it or to get immediate relief, she used to take Montelukast, cetirizine. So it will used to give 8-hour relief. Again, it will flare up. So after repeated this thing happened, she came to us and we have taken the whole history in detail. And I remember, I think it was this case is I think 10 years back. I have seen that case. So after taking the detailed history, we found out that the patient, the very near coming or suitable medicine is the medorinum, and it is also antipsychotic medicine remedy, also miasmatic remedy, also a nosode, and also seeing the whole personality, the nature of that child, we have prescribed medorinum, and there was a wonderful result where after few days or month, her allergic recurrence has really subsided. She left taking cetirizine. Now there was no need of taking cetirizine, and she was very happy with the result because she was so brilliant child that because of this complaint, it was setting her back in her studies. It was hampering her studies, her performance. So that is why she was very disturbed. And with this medorinum we have prescribed, and we have seen good results. Integrating now both approaches in clinical practice, so Thera first and Constitution in parallel. I have also make a difference between. So if we will see the difference between, so Constitution remedy focus to treat the person as a whole, and therapeutic on the other hand treat the disease symptoms or only the temporary symptomatic symptoms it focus. Second, the approach. The constitutional medicine is a holistic and individualized the patient, and therapeutic it is targeted and evidence based. For example, as I told you, I have seen that Cilicia, I have seen the case of the Cilicia that it has given me relief in the corn. So next time, if the same patient comes, I'll again I will give the same remedy. But the constitutional, it never happens the same. For example, if I have given the pulsatilla in allergic rhinitic patient, so next time for the constitutional, I cannot give again pulsatilla because the next patient, the personality will be different. So I have to take the whole, you can say, history, the whole case, and then I need to prescribe that remedy, means constitutional remedy. So that is why the therapeutic is targeted and evidence based. We have evidence, we have seen that cardias or chelidonium works good in gallstone. We have seen before and after sonography. So we have given that remedy. So that is the constitutional. Am I audible? Okay. So method,
Yes,
constitutional
audible,
lifestyle
audible.
diet.
Only 8 minutes remain, doctor. Okay.
Okay. Uh, yes. So in the constitutional, the time frame is long term and preventive, and therapeutic is short term and curative. See, I'm not in a favor of one or both, or not against one or both. It is upon the situation that we need to go for therapeutics or we need to go constitution or both. But if we'll see the difference, the constitutional medicine is long term. If you want your patient get cure or not only cure, but the complaint does not come back. For example, if you have cured the patient right now, but what is the guarantee that same allergic complaint will not come back after a year when the same situation or circumstance happen? So at that time, we need to go for the constitutional, which will focus on the long-term treatment and preventive treatment. Means here the main focus is not cure, not only cure, but also the prevention of the disease. Whereas the therapeutic will focus on the short term and curative. That it will only focus that you are having these three symptoms, therapeutic given, cured occurred, okay, done. So that is the thing in the therapeutic. If we'll see the philosophical background, constitutional, strengthening the body's innate healing. And in therapeutic, disease elimination through active treatment. So here in the constitution, we are also dealing with the immunity that will help to increase the immunity to innate immunity of the patient. Okay, so now what are the challenges and consideration? So following both the method of treatment, so time commitment, constitutional case taking require a significant time commitment to gather detailed information about the patient's health history and constitution. So as I told you that in the constitution we need proper time, because obviously some doctor will take 1 hour, some will take 2 hours. So case taking is long, it will take long time. And in therapeutics, you have a number of remedies in your mind and you can prescribe immediately. So it is like time, it will save your time. Complexity, remedy selection in constitutional prescribing can be complex, requiring a deep understanding of the materia medica and the patient individuality. Many a time I have faced that whenever we take the history of the patient, so at that time we have taken the history detail, but immediately which remedy to prescribe it does not strike in our mind. So we ask the patient to come after 1 week in the follow-up, and that time we just repertorize, we see which remedies is suitable for the patient. So we take that period of lapse period of time for the analysis of the remedy. So it is a complex, you can say, prescribing where we need the deeper understanding of the materia medica and patient. So aggravations, constitutional treatment may initially lead to aggravation requiring careful management and patient education to ensure the compliance. In constitutional treatment, initially there can aggravation occur which require careful. See, homeopathic aggravation in a way it is good, because it will definitely guide you that whether you are going in right direction or not, whether your remedy prescription is right or not. But sometimes what happens that it is not homeopathic aggravation, it is in general aggravation where the symptom of the patient has flare up. So at that time you need a proper careful management, which is must. So the conclusion is that a holistic path to healing. So the conclusion is that the constitutional medicine offers a deeper, more comprehensive approach to healing, addressing the root cause of the chronic condition and promoting long-term well-being, whereas the therapeutic provides valuable tools for managing acute symptoms, offering immediate relief, supportive care during the acute episodes. So yes, constitutional you can go where there is a chronic condition, you need to remove the root cause for the well-being of the patient, where there is a recurrent repetition. So at that time, constitutional and therapeutic, where you need to manage only the acute symptoms, offering immediate relief and supportive care during the acute episode. Integrating both approach allows for personalized and effective homeopathic care, combining the benefits of the symptom management and constitutional healing The future of homeopathy lies in embracing the synergy between this two powerful paradigms, offering a holistic path to healing that address both individual and their symptoms. So we need to go hand in hand. We need to understand the situation of the patient, the circumstances, the disease condition, its pathology, and our role, and we need to act accordingly. So here, I have given the understanding, the introduction, the comparison, the statistical analysis, and the conclusion of therapeutics versus constitution. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Thank you, Dr. Surabhi. And you mentioned about the therapeutics and you mentioned it is the entry point. That's good. Because often because of the complicated cases as well as the situations and the stress, the physicians are not able to judge the medicine, not the remedy. That's the most important thing. They must distinguish between these two terms, the remedy and medicine. Don't say it is synonymous. Yes, Hariharan sir, what is your opinion? Only 2 minutes remain. Sir, please. Hariharan sir, please unmute, sir. Hariharan sir, please unmute. Yeah.
PPT is there, so please withdraw the PPT.
You don't bother about it, sir. Yes, yes. Okay. Please, sir.
Okay, very good, Dr. Surabhi. You have done a wonderful work, and really I like to appreciate you. Okay.
Thank
Okay, really I appreciate you because see, why we are treating a chronic case. Sometimes acute exacerbations may cause some discomfort to that patient. My doubt, really, I like to ask a question that suppose a exacerbation is shown. See, suppose I am fixing a constitutional remedy. That constitutional remedy itself suitable, and it will cover that exacerbation completely or not.
Sorry, sir, your question is if the constitutional remedy will cover acute exacerbation or not?
Yes, yes. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir, definitely. If the constitutional remedy is correct, so it will cover. But as I told you in the earlier slide, that there comes the same thing I have discussed, that there comes a time when we have given a well-chosen constitutional remedy. And I have seen that, for example, 1 month, 2 months, there is relief, but there is sudden again flare-up of the symptom. I have given the example of arthritis, that I have chosen a constitutional remedy for the arthritis, and 2 months there is relief. Then again, some of the, for example, stiffness or any of the symptom of the arthritis has flare up again. But my constitutional remedy is correct. So there is no need to change that constitutional remedy. It will act. But for the patient's anxiety and for the sake of the, you can say, treatment, we can give some of the therapeutic additional. For example, I have given the example that we can give along bryonia, we can give that it will remove or it will reduce the stiffness or any complaint related to patient.
Yes, doctor, please conclude.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, it's very clear as it is mentioned. You can see in animals chronic diseases, acute accidents in chronic disease, how to manage it is very well written there. Nice question. Thank you, Dr. Hariharan sir, for interference.
Only sir, one question in the sorry, sir.
Yes. Please remember, you must conclude in 45 minutes. Then you can have a discussion for 15 minutes. Unfortunately, that has not happened. So please learn more on next time. Anyway, thank you for the presentation and come again our platform. That remark, let me conclude today's English edition. Hope you will be back again tomorrow. Then goodbye. Now Dr. Khaila to continue the program. Dr. Khaila.